What does a weekly or monthly budget look like in Lille?
Most people, myself included, we were paying anywhere between 400 and 600 euros a month for a bedroom in a shared apartment. I paid 500 for one that was directly downtown, about less than 10 minutes walk from the main train station. And it included everything. The 500 euros included all the gas, electricity, water, internet costs.
Okay, so internet was included, but what about a cell phone?
I had an unlocked iPhone and found a company that I think it was €1 for a SIM card and roughly 10 to 15 euros a month for a data plan that had 1 or 2 gigabytes of internet, which generally speaking was enough to survive for a month.
And how much should someone budget for transportation?
Obviously, it depends on the city. In Lille, if you were under, I believe, 26, you could get a really good deal that it was very cheap for an entire year of transportation because both you were a student and you were under 26. As well, they offer quite a good deal that you can either get a card that you pay for a subscription, then you rent bikes at stations that the first half hour is free and then you return it and you can take it out again. Or for, I believe it was about 30 euros for a year, you could just take one of those bikes home. It came with basically everything you needed. Obviously, you'd have to pay if it was stolen, but as long as it wasn't stolen, you could have a bike for about 30 euros for a year, and then you just return it when you were done with it.
Oh, that's great. Okay, what about food? Eating in and eating out?
Eating in is actually pretty cheap. They always have markets, mostly on the weekends, and again, those are very cheap for everything that you want, as long as you eat fairly seasonally. I found that for one person eating in most of the time, it was usually between 20 and 30 euros a week, depending on what you bought. As for eating out, obviously dinner is more expensive, but it's a big student town, so there's lots of cheap places to eat. Lunch is usually the cheaper option, and there are lots of places that offer like 3-course lunch deals for roughly 10 euros.
And what about drinking?
Drinking in, of course, like everywhere, is always cheaper. It's France. It's pretty easy to get wine that's perfectly fine for a couple euros a bottle. And since we were in the north of France, up near Belgium, the beer was, again, very good and very cheap. If you wanted to drink out, a little more expensive, but again, it's a town mostly geared towards students, so figure a couple euros for a beer, or maybe a little bit more for wine, unless you went to some place that was less studenty.